be really understood properly. Anyone, anyone has any question before class session?
Gyan Prakash sir, I will just interrupt a little bit.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for coming here. We are very thankful for that you have spared your valuable time and you are going to spare your valuable knowledge with us. Thank you so much, sir. I will request Professor Arpana Raval, madam, to please officially introduce our expert. Please, ma'am.
Uh, Thank you, Parthu sir. Good morning, Mr. Gyan Prakash. That was wonderful. You introduced yourself a bit, but you need an elevated, more of bit of introduction. So I'll be pleased to introduce you in front of our FDP audience, sir. Mr. Gyan Prakash has an experience of more than 15 years in IT industry. Currently, as he said, he is in the role of Senior Technical Architect at HCL Technologies. He has also worked with companies like HCL America, Tata Consultancy Services, Frank Connect and Yatra Online in various designatory roles. He has a rich experience of new web applications and service solution designing and architecture. Mr. Gyan Prakash has done various certifications too, that too in NE04J. I guessed I spelled it right, sir. From NE04J Graph Academy, it's a new upcoming graph database that has been initiated by Cisco Incorporation. And I guess I'm right ahead, sir, from the net. So with this profile, I formally invite Mr. Gyan Prakash, sir, to proceed with his talk session.
Thank you. Thank you for your nice introduction about me. I'm still learning, and every day is basically learning. And whatever I learned, I want to, because my career is now like 15, 16 years. So I want just share this knowledge to everyone so that they can also use this knowledge for their purpose and the different areas, not only for the study, and it can be any domain, any functionality, any industry, any area. So that is my goal and that is my objective to pick this session so that I can give my like basic knowledge. 1.5 hours is very less time to introduce everything, but same time I want to package it little bit in a good way so that you can understand what we are talking about and what is Neo4j at least. So Neo4j is basically, let's go one step back before coming to the Neo4j. Neo4j is a database, and we have a lot of database already existing, like a relational database, Oracle, MySQL, DB2. So many data was already there. Why we need a new database called Graph database? And Neo4j is not one of them only. We have a multiple players in a area of Graph database. Like for Amazon, we have a Neptune from different vendors like a Tiger Graph we have, and we have a Liquid from the LinkedIn. So lots of players are working on the graph technology, and graph technology is a very simple technology to represent your data, and we can visualize most of the time in early age. Whatever the relational database say, we have a table column structure kind of structure, and based on that we create a data, represent the data and store the data. 1 minute, I want to share my screen and then I will start from there. Give me a minute. Let me know if I able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So I have created very small PPT. I want to speak more instead of focusing on presentation. So this is basically a topic we are talking towards. And the next slide is nothing but it says what relational database is and non-relational database is. Non-relational database, we have a lot of different categories as well apart from the graph database. Like we have a Mongo database, we have a document MarkLogic, so many different database. But graph database is a separate from other NoSQL database. So I will tell how and why it is very important, what is the use case, how we can utilize this technology for our future development. Any question till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So I created a very simple data. Today's hot topic is basically a COVID. So I just created a COVID sample data for last three, like from 31st and 30th, 31st and 1st of June data to represent my model and showcase how capable is and how we can utilize this technology for the upcoming developments. What is important in a database called graph database? In early age, we have a row column. Here we have a node and ages. Node is basically a representation of your row. If you imagine you have a relational database, you have whatever row you have, that is called your node. And the label of node, if you see here, label is called location. Are you able to see my screen? No, right? Just a minute.
Sir, can you just put it in presentation mode? I think then it will be visible clearly.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes, sir, it's visible clearly.
Okay. So what I'm talking about, in the graph technology, we represent the data in the form of node and array. So if you see here, we have a three nodes. One is basically a location, one is the cases, and the third one is basically vaccination. So I am trying to represent my data in the term of node and the relationship. So any graph technology, what is important? What is important here is when we can use the graph database, if my data is really connected with the relationship. So I have to identify my data with the relationship. There are a lot of use cases which is not fit into the graph database if my data is not really related. So first objective to find in my database is if there is some relation exists. So most of the social network like a Facebook, LinkedIn, and other Twitter, all technology in the backend, they use the graph database only. And because the nature of the database has the relation and it is connected with the different, like if you talk about the Facebook, I have a friend, their relationship with the other friend and all those connections. So it is really a related data with the different attributes. Now let's talk about the COVID graph, what I want to represent today. I want to picture my data for last 3 days record to see the number of total cases, number of people vaccinated in each country. So my data, if you see, this is the location with the code and the continent and country. And this is the case wherein total cases is this one, and new cases, this is basically a today's case number. And these are basically total vaccinated and people vaccinated and fully, and new vaccinated is just today's vaccination. So this is basically model. To understand the graph database, to make a cake, we need to see what are the ingredients. For the graph, we want to see what are our ingredients. So there is a two ingredient for a graph database. One is a data and another is a model. So I have a data, I will show you in the later part what is the data, and this is the model. Model, if you relate this model from the previous databases, we have a table, columns, and their relationships, primary key, foreign key, all those things. But here we have a node, ages, and basically their attributes. And if you see, the label represent the table name. If you have a if you want to build the same application, same database in the relational database, cases will be a table, location will be a table, and vaccination can be a table or can be a part of these two tables only. So these are the just transformation from the relational database to graph database. But why we are doing here in the graph database? Because we found there is a one relationship between the data is a date. I want to track all the data based on the date and want to track all the data, today's data, tomorrow's data, day after tomorrow's data, all the data I want to track and record into the system to do the analysis and get the data, out of that to analyze the data and take the result of this and want to use the for further studies. So this data you will see the live. I just want to show you in a picture and nothing from the presentation. Now let's go to the actual practice. I will show how database works and how database we can use in a Neo4j. As I mentioned, I have a data already. So I created three CSV files. And if you open these CSV file, I have a 1st June record from 30th May, 1st June, and 31st May. So I will try to feed this data into the Neo4j and I will show how we can use without writing any application with the capability of Neo4j tool itself. So I have already ported this data. Let's clean this data first. I'm just deleting this data, whole database first. So I have no record here. Let's try to port this data and see the capability of tool and try to understand how we can use this as a form of application. Any question till now? Anybody, any question? I want to just understand if we are able to follow it, whatever I am doing, or is it useful for everybody what I am talking, or you are interested in something else?
Good morning, sir. Sir, from where these data have been collected, sir?
Yeah, this data is
Excel sheet.
Yeah, so this data is got source from basically CDC US published the like a data every day from the their website. So you can go directly download the data from the CDC website, or there are multiple sources also India government provides the data, and you can download the data and play around. Because I have to check the capability of Neo4j, I cannot play with the 5 records. So I just downloaded that data, and yesterday only I downloaded to just present this data in the form of Neo4j. Any question? Please ask question. I want to understand how you are.
Sir, the question is how to import a data set.
Yes, that will be the next target. I deleted every data in front of you. Let's import in front of you how we can import the data. So there are multiple ways to import in the data. There is a one approach called Neo4j admin, which provides the data. You can upload the data through the command and through the terminals. And I tried with the 1 TB of data, and the database I'm able to load in 2 hours. But the RAM capability was 640 GB RAM, and hard disk space was 1.7 terabyte. So this database works on our memory. So we need very high memory to perform these kind of operation and do the analysis on the data. And the another approach is you can write a Cypher query, and with the CSV, JSON, and XML, you can import your data. So I will take an approach here using CSV and import this data what I was showing earlier. So this is already pre-wrote query. And if you see, this query is nothing but I'm just trying to just fetch the columns. It's very simple query. Load the data from CSV header C3, and with these are the row name of your CSV, and this is basically alias from the any database has the same term. This is the alias, and what I want to create, I want to create a location and set these attribute from this sheet. I want to create a case as a node, set all these attributes. I want to create a vaccination as a node, set all these attributes. I want to build the relation between location, and M is basically, if you go here, vaccination, and you want to create a H is basically your case. So you are trying to connect, S is your location. So I am trying to connect location with the vaccination and location with the cases. Very simple use cases, but there are multiple things we can add, like a death rate and other parameters. I have all the record, but to make a simple, I just created 2 nodes. Okay, so let's go to the database. So I'm just closing everything so that you can understand how it is coming. I'm just closing everything.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but can we get this code in dataset so that we can also practice simultaneously? If possible.
Do you have a setup in your local for
Yes, sir,
Neo4j?
we all have done the setup. I think most of the person would have done that because Sudeep sir have sent the installation steps and everything.
Okay,
Yesterday only.
I have a this data set I can share. I don't know how, like, can I send them through mail? Just wait. I can. So I can send
you can send it on WhatsApp also. We will forward it to
WhatsApp group.
I don't have WhatsApp. Can I attach here file sometime? Let me try.
Okay, sir. So you can mail to any one of the coordinator.
Okay. Sudeep is there. Can I send to Sudeep?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can just mail me. I will share with the participant.
Okay. No.
Sir, can't you share through the chat, sir?
Yeah. Let me try that.
That would be easier. That would be easier. I think everybody can get it here, sir. Yeah.
We will be sharing it in WhatsApp then. Once we get, we'll be sharing it in WhatsApp.
Ah, okay.
No problem. I am sharing through mail, and then you guys can share through what.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Wait. I have to find that Sudeep's mail. Yeah, this one. So.
Sujata ma'am, kindly mute yourself.
Just a minute. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. So I just send the data, and okay. Let me know if you're able to get that data. And meantime, I will just explain what I was explaining. Okay. I have a data. I have a idea what I want to build, but I cannot go into the tool directly to build the data. I need some sketch work and a pen pencil work before doing the actual import. So where we can do it? Either we can go into the whiteboard and do it. And these are the nodes and these are the relations. This is called conceptualization and modeling, or maybe schema. These are the different terms where you think how you want to represent your data. In the database, normal database also we think about tables and all those structures. So I have one application called Arrow in a Neo4j. This application, this is an online application, arrow.app, where you can think, this is a whiteboard for Neo4j, where you can think how you want to represent your data in the form of node and relation. It is very simple. If this is a node, and if you want to create a relationship, just drag it. And you want to give some name, location, vaccination, you just give this. And if you want to just create a relationship, just add the property, date, and whatever the date value is. Like today's date is 06/03/2021. Okay, so this is your data representation. While thinking, it is very important to represent or model your data before porting the actual data. So this is the pre-exercise before the porting data. And after doing this, this tool provides you a basic Cypher query wherein you can create your data with using simply this query. and whatever the relation you will add, it will automatically come. So location, I want to add zip code like 66615. So this is a property, and if you see again how it represent is, date came here, zip code came here. So whenever you execute this query, it will give you the idea for Neo4j to create your actual modeling or creating the schema. So this is the pre-exercise with your data, means modeling. Now let's go how we can port this data with our Cypher query, what I created earlier. I was showing it. Are we able to follow this simple Cypher query? Cypher query is basically a simple English language. This is nothing but just reading the file, getting the data, putting to the database, nothing more than that, and putting the relationship between the node and relation data. Are we able to follow this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyone, any question till now? Please let me know if you have any question. I want like more and more questions so that I can give you more clarity.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
May I?
Yes.
Sir, what I can see is the names given to the different nodes in your example, like we have S for location and all. So as per the traditional approach for the naming convention, we give some relative names like L for location and so on. So is there any rule or any other way because of which you have given the names like S and other naming conventions?
H
is cases and
yeah. Let me explain what is this and why it is not valuable here. I can write anything here because this will never represent as a my data. If you see S, you will not able to find S in any of your data. If you go to the database, you will not find this data. So if you want, you can use LOC, and if you want, you can use like a case, and if you want, you can use a VSE. So by naming convention, because this data, this term will never be participate in the form of your data, we can give any name. So to sake of simplicity, I just give the alphabet so that we can understand. This is nothing but just a representation of your location as a S, and S can be used as a to represent this data. If you see this L S dot ISO code, I am setting into the node from the CSV. So S life cycle is still here only and till here only. So that doesn't matter too much, but still for the nomenclature and naming convention purpose, we can give the location, case, and vaccination. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anyone apart from this?
So how we got to this graph graph part, sir?
Yes, I am going to. Just before I was asking if any question till now. No, right? Okay. So let's go to create a graph so that you will understand how it is coming. So I shared already 3 CSV file. Let me put first CSV file. I'm just copying it. Let me open it. So I install in my laptop, desktop edition, and you can go. Aura is available for your POC. It is a free. You can create one instance there in a Aura Google platform. It is free of cost. So this is an interface for like a desktop application. So to create any database, you can simply go. This is your database, and this is different interfaces and different capabilities of this database. So you want to create a new database, simply create a plus, and you can give COVID-19. So this in the database, normal like SQL database, we give that database name. This is the database name, and database has some schema. Like we have a different schema also. In the database, we can create a multiple schema. So I am trying to create one schema for the local database. I can give any name. See, 19 I am giving here, and password based on your interest, whatever you want, you can just. So this is the process to create a database for the Neo4j. And if you click here, it gives you this interface wherein you can start this database from here. And if you start this database, and I have Enterprise Edition, and Enterprise Edition is free for desktop, so you can download and use it. No license required. And it has a capability like a different like a browser capability, ETL capability, and Bloom capability. And ETL capability is used to basically migrate your data from the different databases. Like I want to migrate data from Postgres or MySQL to Neo4j, I can use this technology tool. And if I want to use Bloom, it can if you want to represent data in the real more visual form, Bloom can be used. So let's go with the basic format called Neo4j browser. So it opens a new UI wherein you can see your database you created. So default feature is it gives a Neo4j database as a default. If you want to create a different schema like a multiple database, it supports. So if you want to create database COVID-19, you can create. So it will come here. So I just selected COVID-19 database here. I want to port my data. I have already query prepared. We understand how query works. Let's try and go to execute this. Because this file is not found the location where I have to put, it is looking for this file in this location. So I have.
Sorry to interrupt, Gyan sir.
Yes.
Sir, created a database earlier, means like the first step where you uploaded the database. So here again we are supposed to create, or we are using, or we are creating?
We are creating.
Actually, I'm really new, means I don't know anything about Neo4j. So
I have created a database. I have created a room. I want to put all the stuff in the room again. First,
okay.
I just destroyed everything. I started from zero. Before this session, I had everything. I deleted everything. I cleaned everything. So I'm now building a house again. So first step was to build a room. So I created a room called COVID-19. Now I will put a data from my CSV file using the Cypher query.
Sir, what about C19?
C19, I will tell you. C19 is basically this platform called C19. COVID-19 is your this project name. C19 is your this database. Inside the database, you can create a multiple here also. So assume in MySQL or Oracle database, we can create a project. In the project, we can create a database. In the database, we can create a schema. So this is a different schemas.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. And so why this error is coming here? Because we have to give this file to the relevant path. So how we will go there? So we have this path. If you open this and import, so it will open your folder, this folder, and you have to put your all the file, this 3 file. What I want to use a sample data. I just kept this data inside the installation of Neo4j as an import folder where I can put my data and use for import. Now let's go back to interface again and try to execute. So if you see, this data is created 129 record with some properties and the relationship. So if you go here, so this is the case. If you go with the location, so location, I can go like North America. This record is for 30th. So this record is 30th record data is coming, and this is basically blue is a vaccination, or this orange is basically your cases. And you can see the record, new number, new cases, total cases, and also you can. And this don't have data. Maybe there is some problem with CSV. Let's try other data. So if you select this, you can find all the relevant data. Okay. So this is the first CSV we exported. Let's try to export more CSV so that we have a more data to do some analysis. So 2 and 3. So now we have a more record. Let's go to Australia. So if you see, this give you all the data for the different date. So from the relational database, graph database has really a good representation and visualization of data. Once you import your data, you can see your data and you can see the relationship. In like in the relational database, we have a primary key and foreign key concept. We have to go and see the relationship using the query to understand what is the relation between the two tables. Here you have a direct representation of data and you can see the relationship between the data. Any question till now? No? Okay. Let's see another aspect of this. These tools we have to write a query to get this data and understand and analyze. We have another tool called Neo4j Bloom. So let's go there. And you can represent your data with your perspective. So you can create a data with we have data here in COVID-19, and you can create a perspective and you can open your perspective. So this is your cases, location, and vaccination. So you can basically give the how data can represent. So I'm just giving the how many number of cases and the location and the vaccination. And you can search simply anything, like I want to search India. So if I click, I can find all the data related to India. So here I have only one node for the location. And if I want to expand this data, so I have like a 3 CSV I imported, so I can see all the 3 imported CSV and 3 vaccination, 3 dates of vaccination and 3 date of our cases. And any data, if you select, I want to see the data, I can see the data. So number of cases and plus location, number of cases and vaccination, all. And this has a capability to change the data as well. If you have some correction, you want to correct this data, just simply go and change the data. So this gives you inbuilt application wherein you can modify your data after import for your analysis. Any question here till here?
Sir, can you repeat the process for importing the CSV files?
Yes, sure. I need to send this query. Only you will be able to import. Give me a moment. I will send the query. So Sudeep, I am again sending one file for a query. Okay. So let me explain a little bit slow. I explain what is Neo4j and what are the tool technology, but let's go a little bit slow so that we understand how it works. I was talking initially these three terms: location, case, and vaccination. So these are the basically relation, and this is the query. This is the query, and let's go to my CSV first. I have this three column for the location. So if you see these three column, I'm trying to find ISO code, continent, location from this. Total number of cases is the part of this CSV. If you go, it has a lot of record. I just want to use a little bit less data so that I can represent. So new cases, here total number of cases, new cases, and death I am not considering. Total number cases and new cases I just considered. So if you see total number cases and new cases, I am considering vaccination, total vaccination, fully vaccinated, and new vaccinated. So if you go, this has all that data. Total vaccination, people vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and new vaccination. So these data I am taking from this CSV. So how it works is I'm reading this CSV, trying to load this data from the CSV, and creating the node. Merge is basically not to duplicate the data. If you write a create, it will create a duplicate data. So once I import a second CSV, that for the India we will have a two node, but we want India as a single node, that unique value. So it merge will work like that. It will create a unique record based on this ISO code, and it will create a single record for each country. Now I just got this data, a case, total case from the same CSV, and just read this data and try to set it into the case node. And same again for vaccination. I have a total case, people vaccinated on those record. This is basically to create the node. Once my node is created, and this is a single statement. Once my node is created, as I represent as a alias for the location. So as is really had a vaccinated to M. M is your vaccinated, and this is the attribute we have in the basically your nodes. This nodes and this nodes has an attribute like this. And this is your node relationship, and this is the same we use basically name of your relationship in a relational database. I have a table A and table B. I want to relate this table. So this is the name, similar name here has a relationship for two tables, or here is a two nodes. And in earlier in a new like a SQL database, we cannot give the property to the relation, but here you can give the property, and it can be multiple. I can give ID, XYZ, whatever property I want to as a part of my property, I can give this. And if you go here, you can see this date is here, whatever I gave as a part of property. Now let's delete this data. I will go a little bit slow so that you can follow me. Okay, so just let me delete all the record again. So what this mean is equal to match. I am trying to get the data for all the database. Detach is basically I want to just remove the relationship between the nodes. So I am just detaching and deleting, and basically after detaching whatever the node, basically case, location, and vaccination, I want to delete all the node. So all node is deleted with a single query. Now let's try again to import. I have one CSV I want to import. Just simply this single statement. Let's execute again. It has created, and I want to see how is this model and how this schema works. So let me go here. Whatever the model we have created, where I can see simply a model. I don't want to see all the relationship. I want to see simply a model. So there is a one query called db.schema.visualization. It will give you only simply a model. So how my data is represented. So this is basically your three tables, and this is the relationship. And in the broader scope, we can go and see all the data. This is a schema, model, or representation of my data. So this is a command to get the model for whole database. Are you getting me? Are you well?
Yes, sir.
Any question here till now?
Sir, what if I want to delete some particular nodes?
Yeah. Let me show that how I want to delete a record for India only. I want to just simply delete the record. So how we can do it? Write a query called match location. This one. I want to completely delete everything. So let's go with the relationship. My relation, I want to delete first. Let's delete number of cases. And so this is the representation of my data right now. Location has a cases and cases. Where it's a simply like SQL query where and dot it give you the suggestion India return and so this record I got this record by querying the India. Now I want to delete this record. So how we will do it? Go here again, till condition, detach, delete, and so it will detach all the relationship between India and delete the India. So what happened here is one node is deleted and two relation is basically removed. So again, if you execute this command to see if the data is really deleted or not, we don't have an India record right now. So India's node is deleted right now. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
So it's very simple. Nothing much fancy here. We have to write simple queries, simple English language. No need to go in detail for all technical studies. Simply you just to get instead of select, write a match. Where is again we have where in a select SQL query, and you can put the condition and return is basically get the data in the form what you want. So let's import another set of record.
Sir, while importing, I'm getting an error of listing the location. So how you resolve that, sir, error?
Yeah, so if you facing that issue, you go. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to three dot. Go to the folder. Go to the folder. Go to the import folder, and put all the file here.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anybody any question apart from this? Now we done.
Sir, what are the other formats we can import here?
We can
Other
import XML, JSON. We can import, and we can use the REST API endpoint also. So if your data is in your RESTful web services, you can import directly from that source as well. And also, you don't have to always use a file. This tool has a capability of ETL, extract, transform, and load of your data. So you can directly connect with MySQL and load your data with the modeling to the Neo4j.
Okay, sir. My next question was that only. That can we convert SQL databases to Neo4j graph databases?
Yes, we can use that. I don't have ready that demo, but we can of course do it. And this tool provides that. And if you open this tool, what you have to do is you have to create a mapping correspond. You have to give the basically what database you want to use and what project you want to use. You have to give the mapping and add the relationship, basically what database you want to connect, like a Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, all database we have right now. Yes, you can connect all the database, give the proper mapping to the database, proper mapping to the database, and you can represent your whole database into the Neo4j. And Neo4j also provide the data load from AWS using S3 bucket, and also you can load the data from a Google bucket. So if your data, large volume data, you cannot always download in your local system, you can simply load your all the data in S3 bucket. It can be a GBs or terabyte, whatever. Just connecting those nodes and just load the data from the S3 instead of downloading in local and try to execute. It will be very tedious for that time.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I'm getting an error while importing the file, CSV file, saying that that query cannot include width and capital width again.
With there is only with. I think. Did you copy multiple times same query?
No, I don't think so. But
so what version of Neo4j you are using?
Version?
Which version? Like if you go to the Neo4j, you have some version here, right?
I don't know. I have downloaded it from the given link. I have to check it.
Can you share your screen? Do you have a capability to share some?
Actually, I'm doing it on my laptop and I'm attending the session from the mobile. So let me check out, or I will just put the screenshot if possible.
No problem. You just send me a mail. Send a mail to Sudhir, and I can take and I will reply.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Answer it. The official Neo4j download.
Your voice is not clear. Can you
I
come
don't
again?
know, sir. Sir, it was Neo4j official download link.
Yes. Okay. It should
Download
work.
and installation link.
Everything is working here. It should work. There may be something. If I can see this was the import problem, right? And text file. Any person able to load the data from the groups? Okay, so someone asking how to create a project from start. It's very simple. You just click on plus button, it will give you a project. If you click here, you can give any name here and add this button and create a local, give the database name and give the password. That's it. Yeah, so if you want to load this data through the online editor, you will not able to do it because you don't have a right to reach to the import folder. To import in any online location, what you have to do is you have to put this data into the HTTPS or HTTP location, and instead of directly from the file, you can load using the path of your CSV file. This is a file location, and you should give the HTTP path, and it should load. It says the DPU failed to create a with the same. So try with the different password. You can ask directly instead of reading here lots of message. Hello, you can ask directly. Parthu sir, do you have any question?
What after creating the database?
What? Yes, can you come again?
I have created the database and added it as a local database. Then I have given the password. What after that?
Give any random password. I just gave 1, 2, 3.
I have given the I have given the password.
Yeah,
and I
just
have started the
yes,
database. It's showing it active status of it.
Yeah, so it will show active. I just created a new database here. So once you created a database, now go and click on the start button.
I have started it.
Okay, once you started, now it will say active.
Active.
Yes, yes. It is active now, and you
Yes.
go here in this three dot.
Yes.
Open folder and import.
Okay, sir.
If you go here, it will open your import folder where in this location you have to put your all the CSV what I shared.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Online version, as I mentioned, you have to give the path and you can import from there because we are importing from the file structure. Any question? So we have a 5 minute. I just want to know, are we able to achieve what we wanted to do here in this session?
Sir, after starting the database and going to Neo4j browser, what we are supposed to do? What was the query? Create database or create actually?
No, you should not do that. I just showed you how to create the database. Even though if you want to use the default database, you can use it. So you just select the default database and execute your query. That query will work. You don't have to. That is a creation of a schema. It is based on your need. If you want to create a different schema, you can create.
Sir, for uploading that c1.csv file.
To upload the CSV, simply execute this query,
Okay.
and execute here. Just
Okay.
it will execute and load the data. Any question from any participant? Partho sir, do you have any question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sudeep, you have any question?
No, sir, not specific questions, but the session is still 12, so I think we can move on with the next topic.
What you're saying?
Sir, we have about half an hour left in the session. We can move on to the next topic. I think participants have done up to this point. Yeah.
Okay, this is good, right, for everyone. Are anybody able to execute and load the data?
have loaded the data successfully.
Okay, that's great. Now, see how we can use this data and use this data in the form of application. So Neo4j gives lots of different capability to integrate this data as a database to the different language. Like I can integrate a Neo4j using Java, .NET, Python, any of the language. So all the language has their drivers. In the relational database, we have also a driver. We like a JDBC driver and kind of driver. So we load or we execute all the queries and perform and build the application using the different languages. So if I talk about how we can use using Java, so Java provides a Spring Data where you can use the Spring Data to integrate with the Neo4j and use your data to build a REST API using a Spring Boot and expose as a REST endpoint, build a microservice, and on the top of you can write an application using Angular or React to build a UI platform. These all things can be done in Neo4j, but in the small session I cannot show everything. Just let's go where to find the resources, where to reach the places to get started by myself. So I just opened a Neo4j simple website. This is a Neo4j website, and where it shows who and is using, what is the use cases, who is the customer, how we can go to the different document, that all. So if you go and see the use cases people are using it, NASA use, Walmart use this database, Siemens and all. If you see, these are the different hundreds of companies use the Neo4j database, and Neo4j database in the different purpose for analyzing the huge large volume of data and get the result out of it. So this is the place where you can find the who all are user of the Neo4j. So if you want to see the documentation, so you can go and find the documentation here. All the documentation is here, and they have very good videos and live demos. You can go and find the demos and videos so that you can understand how we can represent the different section of. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, my question was, where can we get good data set for community detection in Amazon user?
Amazon user. We need to research some. I don't have that data handy, but you can go and find in somewhere in the GitHub where you can find those data. I don't have that handy right now.
Sir, actually, I am doing.
Okay. Your voice is not coming.
Okay, sir. Sir, will it be good to keep it in local database or in cloud? Because I think the database will be too bulky. So, what provide some data sets which are already uploaded in their cloud? Hello? Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, I said that AWS keeps some databases in their cloud. So, will it be nice to take it from there or to keep it in my local database, local drive?
It depends upon the data volume. If your data set for analysis, it's a very small data set in the thousands, you can keep in your local, that's not a problem. But your data set, if I have a data kind of 2 terabyte, I want to build a 1 billions of node and 2 billions of relationship. So that capability I don't have in my laptop, my local system. So I have to put somewhere in the cloud so that I can utilize and understand the data. So right now our use case is COVID. I want to store all the data, COVID data for India for 1 billion or 2 billion people's information with the vaccination, all the record and all the medication, how we will store in the local? This is impossible. So we have to put all the data somewhere we can store with a high volume of data. Did I answer your question? Hello.
Yes, sir, I got my answer. Sir, one more question.
Yes, please. Your voice is not clear, not coming.
Sorry to bother you so much. One more question was: is there any option that we can cut down can we cut down the number of degree connection? Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. What can you come again? Your voice is not properly clear.
Sir, to prune the number of degree connections, is it possible to prune the number of degree connections in Neo4j databases? That suppose for a single node, I just want the maximum number of degrees to be 2 or 3. That's it. So is it possible?
I think we can do using the Cypher query, but I don't have like an answer right now. It is possible using the Cypher query.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Any other participant having some question? Sir, we got one more question.
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
So the question is, can we identify fraudulent activity in Cypher query?
Yes, that is the important use case for the fraud detection using the Neo4j. So if you go to the Neo4j website itself, it says the banking application use the fraud detection using the Neo4j. There is a two important use case for the Neo4j is one recommendation and the second is a fraud detection. Any other question?
So the fraud and activity in the cybercrime for the COVID cases can we find, because we are getting many cases which has been recorded, and how do we identify whether the number of cases recorded is correct or not?
So need to understand the fraud. So basically, before going to the actual data, what fraud we want to detect. So fraud is nothing but basically comparing the actual number of cases and the cases what I have in my data set. So we need to validate these data from the different sources so that I can find the fraud between the data. So I don't have a mechanism directly saying Neo4j, I will give you the data and by the imagination or give the some algorithm, just give me the fraud data. It is not possible. Reason being, you need something to compare. So I will get the data from the different source and try to compare it between and try to find the loophole, where is it, and based on that analysis give the Neo4j give the fraud, where is the actual fraud. So in the banking system, how it works is basically based on your different email ID and phone number combination, and you trying to give these number random, and they try to, I am the same person, I have this number here for the same bank, and another places I have a bank, same bank with the different number. How it is possible? It is not possible. So with my own data, I just analyze and get the data from the different source, compare it and find the fraud. Same way in the COVID case also, get the data from CDC, World Health Organization, Indian government, and try to compare all the data, get out, use the algorithm called APOC or data science, like a Neo4j data science, and get the result out of it and find this. You can do it, will not able to do manually. So just run, execute all the algorithm and get all the data, which is difference and where is the problem.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? We have like 10-15 minutes. I want to take only question right now. I don't want to confuse other with the other things. And you have this document.
Sir, we got one more question. Can we connect Python code with
Yes,
Neo4j?
sure. We can connect Python query. If you see this page, I'm sharing this screen. So these are the different languages we can connect using Neo4j. This includes Python as well. Now, what is the next question? Hello.
Sir, I don't think so. There's any other question from our side. Participants, anyone wants to put some more queries?
Yeah, if you don't have a question, I can still I have some content to share. These are the drivers, and these are the basically a different manual. You can go to the document section. You can see all the Cypher query for self-learning, and all these are basically a different information for the database related. One very important after learning what we can do. So you have 2 certification in a Neo4j. Neo4j provide 3.5 and Neo4j 4. There is a 2 Neo4j certification and 1 more certification called Neo4j data science certification. So you can do the 3 certification, which will give you a better understanding of Neo4j. So I have a 2 certification, Neo4j 3.5 and Neo4j 4. I did like 2 years back. And to understand the different use cases, fraud detection and everything, they have all handy here. You can go and try to see all different, like this is the fraud, this is a recommendation system. And very important use case right now is a identity graph also. So in identity, like how a LinkedIn work is, they have a graph called identity graph in the backend, where your all information is stored in the form of knowledge graph, and it shows how you are connected with the different people, what is your skill, what is your educational background. All data is related and presented in the form of Neo4j database. So these are the platform where we can find the sources for the different use cases.
Excuse me, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in the new database, I have loaded that Excel file in the import folder, but even then I am getting that error, Neo client error statement, external error could not be failed. That file cannot be loaded. What may be the reason, sir?
So you are getting the external file is not loaded. Can you check
Yes.
again from this path? Can you go again here, 3 dot, open this and open this import folder and try to see if the file is there or not.
Yes, sir. The file is available, sir.
And you executed the same command query like this.
Yes, sir. Same query.
And file name is C1, C2, whatever I said, same, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Same file name.
Can you share your screen so that I can resolve issue immediately?
Actually, I'm in the meeting with the mobile, but I'm working in laptop, so that is why I couldn't share.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
So
no problem.
I got your problem. I see multiple people had the same problem.
Yeah.
Only reason being this problem is your query is unable to find your file. That there is nothing
Yes.
hidden there. So
Yes, sir. Path,
nothing.
Mm.
Just try to upload in Google Drive, or just give the instead of file, just give the HTTPS path here.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, we got more questions. Raghu sir asked, in real-time process, the database we use, for example, the Arogya Setu graph, supporting my status along with number of users I have connected. How does it help to give awareness? In real-time situation.
Yes, in real time.
When Arogya Setu app is showing.
Are you talking about the GPS, how the location tracking we are doing in Arogya Setu?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is really a good use case. I did one POC using the same kind of concept for the location tracking. How it works is, I can write a service on the top of Neo4j using any language from Python to Java, REST API. I will store latitude and longitude into the database, expose my location as a node. I'll go here in the data only, I will tell you. Not here. I opened lot of database, so let's execute this. On this because it's not file. Okay, no problem. Let's go here. I have created this one. So this is the location, right? So in this location, I will create a two property called latitude and longitude. I will write a API on the top of Neo4j. I will listen the heartbeat using the my Android or iOS device. Send the data in like every second. Every second I will hit the REST API, collect the data of location with the latitude and longitude. From the latitude and longitude, convert the data in the form of location and store into the Neo4j itself. So basically what I'm meant to say here is, get the data from your mobile device, all the GPS information with the location, send to the Neo4j, transform this latitude longitude into the location and store to the Neo4j, and in the form of app, again you just write a get API to collect the data of the particular location. So I want to search the data for the called in Bangalore, like in the Bangalore, I want to see all in the airport road how many people are connected, like a COVID infected. So how we will get this information is, I will write a API to get API with the location IP and give the range of this condition from this to this area miles. I want to get the information all the user who is available right now. So this way we can store the data, we can get the data and use in the form of application. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Sir,
yeah, please.
Just like MongoDB, is sharding and replication applicable in Neo4j too?
Yes, yes. So let's go in more detail what we can do in Neo4j. So Neo4j supports casual cluster. Casual cluster means here you have a multiple nodes. You can create a multiple node using the concept of master slave. So you have a primary node and you have, take example here with the 3 nodes, one as a primary node and 2 is a secondary node, and the both secondary node will be replica of your data. So in primary node you have a capability to write and the other node has a capability to read. So Neo4j provide this kind of facility, and it can be your replica can be in the different data center or different location as well to meet your disaster management as well. So if anything happen wrong, you can collect your data from the different center. And also if your primary goes down, Neo4j has a capability to automatically your secondary, one of the secondary node will become a primary, and you can read write the data in the Neo4j. So it support both vertical and horizontal scaling as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your answers. Any more questions from the participants? Any other question?
We have still 12 minutes. If you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, I can find something. I don't have really too much presentation. I wanted to just give the practical exposure. That was my more intention.
Sir, can you give an overview about query optimization?
Yeah, so query optimization is a very key principle for any database. So two key factor for any query in any database. One is indexing. So you can put indexing in your attribute. So for our current example, what we can do here is we can provide the indexing on this ID, this code, or any of the attributes. So the simple way to create indexing is simply a create index with the name and the column, this is attribute name. So it will create an indexing, and that will help you to write a match query. The match query will be faster to get the data. And if your data is like it support and layer data, means and depth of your data. So I am here, like I have a friend circle of like a 5 depth. I can get the data from 5 depth of my, like I am friend A has a friend B, B has a friend C, and C has a friend D. So I can get all the relation data in a same execution time, even I have to go one level or n level. So this support Neo4j. And if you compare with the relational database, with the example saying employee, location, and there is a called some other table called address. So to get the data from 3 table, we need to write a join, and join give you the performance flow in your database. So whenever you have a like a left join, right join, cross join, your data performance get degraded with the multiple tables. But in the case of Neo4j, it has the same performance even though if you have 1 node, 2 node, or multiple node, if you want to paste the data from your database. Why it is happening is because in Oracle and MySQL database, all the database is written in a file system somewhere inside in the binary format of Oracle or other databases. But in the Neo4j, if you talk, it store your data into while execution, all the data is always in your memory. So, and it has inbuilt caching as well. So it gives you the faster response while getting the data from the database. This is one of the part as a part of performance. Another thing, you can also add the constraint and other thing what other database also support. I want to show you something how our database, where our actual database stores in the Neo4j. It is internal to the Neo4j. So if you go here, whatever the database we are creating outside, it creates one database with the hex code. And if you go here, this is basically your structure. And I showed you import folder wherein you put your files, and others are different parameters and different things you can use for. Let me explain a little bit what all these are. Plugin. This plugin is basically where you want to create a different plugin using different language. You can create a jar. If you're using Java, you just put here and expose your services or anything from the Neo4j. So if I have to use APOC or a GDS data like a plugin, I have to put all the jars here, and it gives the capability of those functionalities. And there is one very important concept here and very useful file which is always required. This file, Neo4j configuration file. If your data volume is very high, you need to manipulate your JVM for loading the data. So how you can do it? You should change these kind of parameter to increase your memory and heap size so that you can load the data with large volume. So most of the time you have to tweak this kind of configuration, and you can change all the different configuration, like which is the plugin and all those things. So these are the very important configuration, and that can be changed according to our requirement. And these are configuration where you can set up the cluster and all those things. So this is a very important file we have to manipulate and use according to the database, like a default port and all the ports, board server, and all kind of things. Configuration is here. We can change those according to our need. This is really an important file for all the configuration in Neo4j. And if you, even though if you want to enable HTTPS, you can just go here and change all the configuration and give the all certificate here, all certificates here with the path and all those things. So it will enable HTTPS for your different ports. So these are basically a different configuration for Neo4j, and based on our need, we normally change. Any question further?
Sir, is there any limit on the maximum number of nodes or edges in Neo4j?
No, there is no limit for any database in Neo4j. You can load any number of node and relationship. I myself tried with a 1 billion node and 2 billion relationship recently.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any further question?
Sir, I don't think so the participants have any more questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
And if you, even though if you have offline
Sir,
question,
try to practice.
Yeah.
Sir, can we get your email ID so that we can circulate it to participants for further communication if they get any queries or doubts?
Yeah, I can type here.
Yes, sir, sure.
Here. I want to take a feedback. Like, is it useful for like everybody, or like it was boring? How it was?
No, sir, it was really useful, and means the kind of person which is not having any idea about Neo4j.
Okay.
So I understood everything. So it was really helpful, and you can see the feedbacks and messages too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
They are giving quite a nice feedback.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like to do it.
Thank you so much, sir. Partha sir would like to take over from here.
Thank you, Gyan Prakash sir, for giving such a valuable knowledge to all of us, and hope all of us will use it in our research work as well as for teaching students. Thank you, Gyan Prakash sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting and giving me opportunity to speak here.
Thank you, sir. We are thankful.
Yeah, thank you.
आप conclude.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next session will start from 12:10, so we can take a break of 15 minutes, and we all can join at 12:10. Kindly join 5 minutes before. Kindly join here by 12:05. Thank you so much. I hope this session was useful, and we'll continue